So I'm going to take another look at this scenario today. We've got Boris, we've got Emilia, and we've got Marin. So it's a really strong team. He's got a backpack of 17, so every time he goes out the house, he brings home a ton of goods. Emilia, no known advantages, so she stays at home. Marin, he uses less materials every time he builds something, so you want to build everything in the house with him. So that's a really strong team. Well, these two together formulate a strong team. Now, I had a video up on this before, but some maps are, should we say, easier than others. So what I've done is set this so that we get the map with the ruined block of flats and also the decrepit squat. Because I just lost a run with this scenario and that map. And the reason I lost it is you start out with somebody slightly sick, and what I normally do is just wait and see if they get better or not, because very often they do. But there's a dice roll in this scenario, and I don't know if it's just this scenario or if it's a global change or what, but there's a dice roll which seems like it's about a 1 in 3 or maybe 1 in 4 chance, where if you don't med up the slightly sick person on day one, you come back the next day and they are either severely ill or terminally ill. So what happened was, I think it was Marin was sick. I didn't med him up. I came back and he was severely ill. So suddenly you're in a situation where you've got to use a series of meds to get him healthy again. And during that time, then Emilia fell sick. And then by then I was out of meds. And because I played the map wrong as well. And so then I came back, she went from slightly sick to terminally ill. And it was like, whoa. And by then it was bye-bye to the run, because as soon as you get two people more than slightly sick, then they start to get sad, and then the sadness, that just escalated, and Marin ended up leaving the shelter. So anyway, and then I played it again, and the next run was really easy. So this one can go either way. So we're going to see how it goes. And so, who's slightly sick? Okay, it's Boris. All right. So I just want to get him digging. So we've got this map where we have to dig through 2 piles to get to that. We'll get her digging up there. Oh no, she can't go that way because she'll get stuck here. All right, try again, Emilia. Alright, now she can get up, and Marin can go around collecting stuff. So we should get through the house relatively easily today. We may have 1 or 2 things left in the house, but it's not that important because we're not really. There's no urgency in completing the whole house on the first day. So I think what I worked out is that you need to avoid that dice roll where the slightly sick person can go to severely or terminally ill the next day, and the only way to do that is to use one of the meds you find. And we should be finding a med or 2. I can't remember how many we find, but we're going to use that on Boris because we want to avoid that dice roll, because it's a killer if it gets you. But also what I may have done in that run was trade away some meds, because that's what I normally do. And but that was the problem, running out of meds and just not being able to treat the people as the sicknesses got really bad. And this map, the Decrepit squat doesn't give you any meds, and that was the issue. The ruined block of flats can give you meds, but you need saw blades. And you'll see how we handle the map, that if you go to the decrepit squat first, you cannot end up getting the meds from the ruined block of flats until later than you need them, potentially. But it depends what dice rolls we get. Okay, so she can get going there. He's going to have to wait for a little bit. Actually, we're going to get him making a bed first. Do we have enough? Now, obviously, we're, as you can see, we're starting in winter. No, we don't have enough, so he's going to have to go down and start digging. So she can. So we get the materials we need for the bed out of this pile there. So we started in winter, but they do give you a heater, and we also find enough wood in the house such that we can feed the heater up to maximum. And the first few days of winter aren't too severe, so we can get somewhere close to 15 degrees. But then the winter does get severe after about day 5, and unless you upgrade the heater, the house is going to be at about, well, it's less than 10 degrees during the night time. So one thing I found is that the level of sicknesses didn't seem to get affected by upgrading the heater. That may just have been a coincidence, I'm not sure. I'm going to upgrade the heater anyway, just in case it does make a difference. But there was one occasion I upgraded the heater and forgot to put some wood on, so it was negative temperature overnight. I came back and the 2 house members, neither of them got sick, which I thought was strange to say the least. So there's our bottle of pills, so I'm going to get Boris to go up and take those now. I mean, normally I don't med up with slightly sick, so I'm not sure, as I said, I'm just not sure if it's this scenario that really messes with you, if you don't med up. But it's that dice roll that takes them to severely that can really give problems. So he's finished, and we do need a bed tonight. Not essential, but a bed is nice. They could both sleep on the floor if necessary, but a bed is nice to have. So she can get working on this pile. There's no real reason to clear that, except for if, when we get boards up, we're going to have to clear that pile, otherwise we can't get the board up. So that's it for day 1 really. We've got our bed in place, we've got all the lootable piles in the house, and nothing more to do. Except of course 5:30, it's about time to stoke this up, which should get it to close to, I don't know, we'll see what temperature it goes up to, but it should be close to 15. Okay, 7:40, so we just skipped forward in time a little bit there. So it goes up to 12 degrees, which isn't bad. Anywhere between 10 and 15 should avoid sickness, but we never know. So the mistake I made first time was going here first time. You need to go here, so that's what we're going to do. And there's no raid on night 1, so sleep, and there's no preparation either, because there are 2 saw blades, but we don't have any, so go. So Boris, big backpack, but yeah, he's slow. But this isn't a big location, so it's not too much of an issue. So I always make a centralized pile here, just out of habit, really. So there's your first saw blade requirement, and here's your second saw blade requirement. All the good stuff's behind the saw blades, and that's the problem, because we don't have saw blades. And of course Franko, when he comes, he doesn't deal with saw blades either, as in he doesn't stock them. So this clue here doesn't do anything as far as I can tell. Okay, and we're done. It's just a question of what we take back now. So the important thing to take back is these two things. Because what we can do, as soon as we get back, we can upgrade the weapon station. And once we've got the weapon station upgraded, we can make 2 saw blades. Which means we can then come back here, of course, and then we've got access to all the valuable stuff, including the meds. So I'm not going to take the food for now, but what we are going to need is components and wood, basically. A few more components, a few more wood. Okay, that should do it, I think. And go. So day 2. Yeah, Marin would have slept okay, Emilia would have slept poorly, and we just hope that neither of them got sick. Okay, so this is where it potentially starts to go bad, because we can't treat him, because we don't have any meds. And if we get that dice roll, then yeah, it can get bad very quickly. So we're going to put him to bed straight away. So Marin's finished there, and he can now make the 2 saw blades that we need. Okay, so saw blades made. Now Marin didn't just go slightly sick, he went sick as well. And we've got no meds to treat him, so there's a possibility we could get back tomorrow morning and he could be either severely or terminally. And there's your problem with this scenario. I mean, we could have not used the pills. Oh. Well, that's a surprise. I don't remember seeing Franko come on day 2. Well, this could be useful because we just give up all of our tradables to get the pills that we need, I think. Now we could go these or these. This scenario again, I'm not sure if it's a global change or if it's just this scenario, but very often I find that these don't work. Like you use them and it's almost 50-50 that you get back the next day and there's no change in status. So it's just a question of how much this is going to cost. Now we're going to be okay for wood, and the thing about winter is that Franko's really expensive, but the benefit there is that you've got Bruno, who's got this huge backpack, and he can carry a lot of wood. And wood, so you can get, for 8 wood you're getting a bottle of pills, and you can't do that normally. It would take more than a couple of stacks, or more than a full load there, I think. So the question is, do we want to give up that wood? Now, given that we've got the Decrepit squad that has a ton of wood, that is actually an option. But we're going to see if we can just get away with something else. Now, we don't necessarily need that bandage, and we don't need the sugar, so we can buy it with stuff that we don't need rather than use the wood up. But in a pinch, you can use wood. So at this stage, because of the winter prices, it's really not worth buying this or anything else here. Now the parts and the water and the gun parts, they're the only things that... see, we can find a ton of wood at the locations that we're looting, but we cannot necessarily find a ton of parts and or gun parts either. And water also is valuable, so I'm tempted to go for these as well. So just probably use books. Yeah, we can make it. Now, everything else is just too expensive. The wood's too expensive, and it would be nice to have, but at least this way we can treat Marin. So we'll deal there. Okay, well that was an unkind dice roll on Marin, but it's I guess lucky that he came. so that we're not facing Marin being severely ill tomorrow. So anyway, we'll take it. Now let's just check our wood situation. We've got 4, we only need a couple. Okay, so the next thing that we really want to do, to upgrade the heater, we're going to have to do 2 upgrades on the workstation here, which is a lot of stuff. So mainly components for the first upgrade, and then we'll see what we are. We'll just bring back what we can from the ruined block of flats, and then take on the Decrepit squat. So now Marin can get to sleep. And we can end the day there, really. Just feed the fire. So one frustrating thing about this game, I think, is if you pump it up to 6 here and then you end the day, you're liable to end the day with less than 6 on the fire. So it kind of forces you to stand here and just wait until late in the day and just top it up when it does drop to 5. But anyway, I'll see you tonight. I'll wait a little bit, and then I'll see you later on this evening. Okay, so here we are at night. So we get Sniper Junction, which is a nice location, but we can't get there. And Garage, really nice location again. So it's 2 super powerful locations that we're not going to be able to get to until day 10. So now we do have the military outpost, and Boris being a strong character, we can take out the soldiers, and that is another option. Which would make this particular scenario much easier once you do that. But we're going to go the route of not taking out the military outpost, and for that will be Boris. Now we're going to sleep him, hope he gets better, and she's going to guard. Prepare, we want these 2, and go. Now one thing with an upgraded metal desk, we just bought 3 gun parts off of Franko. If we find 2 more, we can make a hatchet, which gives us a lot of wood in the house, because I think it gives you almost about 30 wood and about 21 firewood by beating up the furniture in the house, which of course is really useful in this scenario, starting winter and all. Alright, so let's see what we got. So often we would find a lot of tradables here, with Franko coming on day 3, and that would allow us to buy him out of anything we needed, but we could do that anyway. So it wasn't that essential that Franko come on day 3, and of course with Marin going to sick, turned out to be advantageous that he came on day 2. So we're still expecting Marin to be at least slightly sick when we get back. Boris got better at least, didn't even notice that. But so we're hoping for at least 1 sickness med, which I think we just got. I didn't notice. Yeah, we got 2. Okay. So that will see us good if anybody else gets sick at least. Okay, so we needed 2 gun parts, and we got 1. Darn it. Now we can go to the military outpost and buy some gun parts, but there's really not much else there, and that's the problem. So I'm going to take the meds, and we're going to have to eat at some point, and that carrot's going to be useful. So I'll leave that there for now. Franko coming on day 2, we could see him day 5. This gun part could be important. Tempted to take it. We're gonna need that. Trade. Actually, I'm gonna take that gun part just in case. So just make a note of what we left behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So about 10 stacks of stuff if we were to come back here. Okay, day 3. So this is when we would normally expect Franko to come. I have seen him on day 4. I haven't seen him on day 2 before. Or I don't remember seeing him day 2 before in this scenario. So here's the problem. We're getting, even though we gave him a bottle of pills, he did not get better. Okay, but we now have another bottle of pills, so let's go again. At least he didn't get worse, because it's the severely ills and the terminally ills that we really want to avoid, because they're killers to the scenario if they happen. So it feels like we're getting some bad dice rolls, and this is what can be a problem. Actually, we need Boris to go to sleep. He's going to have to stay up. I don't think it's a problem. I don't think they do recover while they're in bed during the day. I'm not sure, but anyway. So I think he can make a start here at least. Now our things. We've got 9 of these, so we can upgrade the heater after this. If we have enough components, which we may or may not do. We will do tomorrow, after the Decrepit squad. The Decrepit squad's got a ton of components, a ton of wood. A lot of sugar, quite a few parts, but I don't think much else. A bottle of booze and a diamond, and that's about it. So yeah, we want components. Now we haven't paid too much attention to security. And this wouldn't be a bad option. 2 boards can make a difference. And we don't, given that we don't want to get start getting injuries. So that would be a bit too much on top of the sicknesses. So what does this guy want? Oh, this guy. You get a negative morale hit if you do this, I think. So and I think we get a positive morale if we say no. So we say no. We don't want to leave the house anyway. Oh well, we avoided negative morale. Nobody went up to content. She needs to be up here doing that, doesn't she? So I'll be back when she's finished. Okay, so she's done there, and now it's just a question of switching her over with Boris as soon as he loses his tired status, which is now. Okay, so everybody will be rested tonight. Marin can sleep tonight with Emilia on guard. Anything else we can do? We really want to get this upgraded, and that's 10 wood and 15 components. Okay, so that's 5 stacks of wood and 5 stacks of components. 5, 5, okay. The parts would be nice. Alright, so nothing more we can do today. Everybody's rested. And see you later tonight. So we ended the day on 9 degrees. Now one thing I forgot was that we had 2 wood left at the end of that day, and we had to convert those to firewood, and that was enough to top the fire up. So Decrepit squad. Now scavenge, so guard, sleep, and just hope he gets better. and that nobody gets worse. Prepare, we've got that guy to feed there, so we're going to take a piece of meat and go. Okay, so very often you get a lootable pile right here with a ton of stuff in, but we don't have that. Note there's no pile here, but there will be later on when we give the guys meat. Because he comes back to here and he opens up a pile there, which has a bottle of booze and a diamond in. So I always use this as my consolidated pile just because it's reasonably central. So I'm going to do that again. Oh, I need that meat. But not that. Okay, so let's go over the top here. So there's a saw blade requirement here, and I'm not going to bother with it because every time I've opened this up, I've always regretted using the resources to make the saw blade. There's a bunch of stuff that I don't particularly want. Might do it later if resources aren't an issue. None of these clues seem to do anything. They don't open up, secret stashes or anything. As you can see, a lot of stuff. That's another one that doesn't seem to do anything. So here's our guy. So offer to trade with him, give him the meat deal, and he tells us how nice we are, and goes and unlocks this pile here with the diamond and the bottle of booze in. But it also, we get a morale bump out of this as well, which is going to presumably contribute to our endgame karma as well, which I guess kind of adds up all the good things you've done versus all the bad things, and all the traumas. Like if you leave people hungry too long, you can have a negative result from that, as we saw in the Roman scenario. As we didn't see in the Roman scenario, if you let Roman get very hungry too often, he'll start vandalizing the house and beating up other housemates, whereas if you keep him off very hungry, he won't do that. So there are short-term effects, and I assume karma effects of not eating or being sad too long. But our biggest concern now is Marin, because we need him to get better. We've got one light med, not the bottle of pills, like the medicinal med, I think it is. I don't remember what it's called, but the less strong sickness med. So we can use that if he's gone to slightly sick, but if he's still sick. So this is what's opened up by giving the guy his piece of meat, which is useful for making a bandage or a med once we have a cigarette station up. But you need the leaves, of course. Now for now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we needed a bunch of wood as well. I don't know if this is going to be enough. Let's see. I'm going to end the episode there rather than run too long, and I'll be back for 2 more episodes. Next one to cover days 4 through 7, and last one 8 through 10, by which time we should be relatively comfortable because the winter will end by then and all the locations will open up, and it'll be a straight run to the ending. And so I'll see you. Hope to see you in the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye.